It's 25th December, therefore it's Imin's birthday. Whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. Happy holidays. Yeah, I decided to give a deck profile for this holiday season. Of SinKaiser. Yeah, it's and then since Clan Collection just released for the English side, I thought why not just give a profile for this. But yeah, this deck, I to be honest, just to be straight, I have tested but not tested enough for this deck. But it's good enough. It's really good. This is not like a top tier deck like, you know, Gabriel, Prism, whatever. This is just a really fun, really good deck. Like, yeah, you can, I guess, top with this if you really want to, but it's like you can win. You definitely can win, but it's not meta. It's not meta tier, right? But honestly, this deck, the whole premise of it is just literally just Simbuster and Dai Kaiser. Just to have these two in the same deck really really fires up the spirit, right? And so, yeah, I'll be explaining more about you know, the whole entire deck and their synergy, more or less. And so this deck is kind of like a budget deck. It's not really that much of a budget deck because some cards in here are like questionably expensive. Not anymore, not all, but you can build this deck under, I guess, under $100 if I'm correct. But yeah, let's get into it. Also a quick update is that I know I've kind of mentioned I want to make more fight videos, but yeah, I don't know, like whenever I go to locals with my friends, it like the idea to make a fight video never really crossed my mind because we were just having too much fun. Oh yeah. I mean, I think I might actually record some fight videos in the future. Yeah, so look forward to that. Alright, so first we have 4 copies of Metalborg Simbuster. And so yeah, what does Simbuster do? On Vanguard Circle, when placed, you may search your deck for a Metalborg Buster and call it to Rearguard Circle. And so it basically just spawns a friend. Second skill, however, is act on Vanguard Circle once per turn, counterblast 1, this unit pluses 10k, and for this unit, and for the battle that this unit attacked, your opponent cannot call grade 1 or higher units. And so yeah, this guy has vastly improved since last year. Yes, it has been a year, I know, I feel you. So let's first talk about his first skill, because his first skill was the main reason why people played him, and it was because you could basically utilize him with Brad Black. Yes, this boy. You could use him to basically superior ride and then call out your Buster. And that was really, really cool, because Buster has his own skill, we'll go into that later. And yeah, to just have multi-attack in DP was never really seen before in V. And so to have that, it was really, really cool. And let's talk about his second skill, because his second skill got buffed up a lot. How, you may be asking? It's because people are now playing Heal Guards. Yes, Heal Guards are what grade? They are grade 3. Therefore, your opponent basically cannot guard with their Heal Guards. That is really big because, you know, you can ride. This is not your first ride because you ride him going first, you use his skill, you swing. Your opponent cannot drop a heal guard -2 crit you. That is not a play anymore. You can't do that. Like, they can do that to your rear guards, sure, but being able to restrict that play on your Vanguard attack is really, really big. It is really, really big, right? Because heal guards are like the biggest thing right now. People are just heal guarding everywhere, and so yeah, you just put a stop to that with him. And yeah, he's like your best going first ride in DP in the general right now, because Daiyusha gets stomped by a heal guard, Dai Kaiser somewhat gets stomped by a heal guard. So yeah, heal guards are just going everywhere. If you're going second, heal guard. Yeah, so no heal guards. Simbuster says no heal guards. And so let's talk about his second skill in the late game, right? In the late game, when you swing with him, they cannot use their heal guards. And then with a Dai Kaiser, your opponent also cannot safely use a Sentinel. And so basically, just with these two cards, themselves, with him on a rearguard circle and him on your Vanguard circle, you swing, your opponent can basically only safely guard with 8 cards in their deck if they're playing 4 Sentinel and playing 4 Heal Guards. Only 8 cards that can guard this dude. That is weird. That's weird, crazy. Like that has never been seen before in DP. V at least. Because V DP has always been swing big, swing big, swing big, swing big, and your opponent dies. Yeah, that's the whole point, right? But here, you get to actually guard your shit with Simbuster, and it feels so good. It just brings back so much nostalgia for me, because, like, you know, the whole entire Simbuster restricting was so cool, was so good, right? And so to just have that back in V, it's really good. It's really good. It feels good. So put him here. He is definitely now a Chad. And so next we play 3 copies of Dai Kaiser, right? So let's look at Dai Kaiser. His first skill, continuous on Vanguard circle. If this guy is 35k or higher, he pluses a crit. And so this also counts boost, by the way, if I'm correct. And then second skill, on Vanguard circle or front row rearguard circle. Remember, it's a front row rearguard circle. When your drive check reveals a grade 3 unit and your opponent has only caught 1 Sentinel in that battle, counterblast 1, deal 1 damage to your opponent, and at the end of the turn, you slide him with your soul. We'll talk more about that, right? His third skill is when rolled upon, you move this guy to a rearguard circle, and you get 1 imaginary gift force and put it onto your Vanguard circle. And so remember that Vanguard circle, that force only goes to your Vanguard circle, right? And so what you can do is you write Dai Kaiser first, and then you can write Simbuster. He sees that, calls himself, get a force, and then you also get to spawn your free Buster. Actually, no, you should do it like that. Yeah. And so just by writing, you just spawned 2 units. That is a really free plus if you ask me. That is never seen before plus in DP. And so yeah, that is really cool. That's a really cool interaction, but that never really came out often. And you might be asking why. It's because you don't really want to ride him going first unless you brick, and that's the only card you have. You ride him obviously, but usually it's just a really good rearguard, or you basically just ride him just so that you can do your great Daiyusha turn. And so yeah, let's basically talking about his third skill. Now let's talk about his second skill, which is probably the meat of it all, right? You put 1 of him on rearguard circle, your opponent will feel like total bullcrap, because whatever Sentinel they guard for your 2 Vanguard attacks with your Brett Black or your Great Daiyusha, right? They basically cannot feel safe anymore. They will basically take a damage if you luck sack, and 50-50 of the times you do luck sack. And so yeah, it's not guaranteed, right? So it only happens 50-50 of the time. And usually you just throw him down just to pressure your opponent, and that's really odd. So he works so well right now, because you literally have to slash him in every DP deck, even in premium. Like even in premium, I play the old Dai Kaiser. You can check it out. You can check my video out about premium D-Robo. Yeah, I don't play him. You can play him. Playing him makes your life a lot cooler, you know. So yeah, we play Dai Kaiser, and also I feel sad that he basically replaces Daiyusha now, because his first skill and everything combined is just way better than Daiyusha, and so yeah, that kind of sucks. But yes, we play the duo themselves. Actually no, it should be Buster, Simbuster, but who cares? They are a good duo in anyways, because you place 1 on Van, you place 1 on rear, your opponent feels like shit. Yes. Next, the other bread and butter is Brett Black, of course. Play 3 Brett Black. Let's look at his skills. Act on Vanguard circle, once per turn, counterblast 1, and 3 of your front row units pluses 10k. So yes. His main skill though is auto on Vanguard circle. After this unit has attacked, look at the top 7, and then you search out a grade 3, any grade 3. It doesn't have to be a normal unit grade 3, any grade 3, right? Add it to your hand, and then you basically discard 2 cards from your hand, write a grade 3 as stand from your hand, and that unit pluses 10k and minuses 1 drive. So let's just talk about his first skill first. Alright. His first skill buffs up your whole entire field, basically being able to hit anything unboosted. That is already pretty big, because sometimes you don't draw into the stuff that you want, right? You don't draw into like the great ones that you need, your twin orders, and so you just have to use him just to buff up your front row, and so that it just hits and your opponent has to guard. And so that's really, really cool. And his second skill, you can use this going first, but you cannot superior ride. You can use this going first just to search a grade 3 from your top 7, and that's all. That's all. It's a free search, right? But you mainly only really want to use him when you're going second, just so that you can actually superior ride. But being able to just search a free grade 3, that's pretty cool. You can just search a heal, haha, 15k guard. Yeah, you can do that, right? And so, yep. Don't forget the interaction with Brad Black and Simbuster. Basically superior core, one more attack out. Brad Black with Dai Kaiser pressures your opponent, and you can also potentially grade Daiyusha next turn, right? And then the classic Brad Black with great Daiyusha turn, you basically try to kill your opponent at your first grade 3 ride going second. So yeah, Brad Black is a multi-functional card. Yes, he works with everyone but himself. Yeah, you cannot superior ride himself, you can superior ride everyone else, because everyone else works. Yes. And so yeah, by looking at these three, basically he's your first ride target. Not first ride. He's your going first grade 3 target. He's your going second grade 3 target, and he is a very neutral target that you can ride anytime. So yep, those are the 3 main dudes. Will be shifting out now. Next, 1 grade Daiyusha. We only play 1 grade Daiyusha because I have no budget. Yes, and also because this deck doesn't really have space for more. You can add in more, of course, but you kind of mainly, like, yes, of course, going great Daiyusha on a Dai Kaiser makes you feel epic, of course, but does it come up a lot often? Not really, because you're kind of already trying to Brad Black every single turn, more or less, or just going to your Simbuster just to pressure your opponent. And so yeah, I mean, he's a really, really good card. You should play more, right? But I just chose not to. So let's actually go through his skills. Vanguard Circle, once per turn. When this unit is placed, give 3 of your units plus 10k. 3 of your front row units plus 10k power. So that's basically just a Brad Black buff. And so if you go Brad Black into him, you're basically just giving a 20k to your front row, and that's pretty cool. Now his second skill, that is also as useful as his first skill. In hand, after your Vanguard has attacked, and if its power is 45k or higher, counterblast 1, ride him as stand, and he pluses 10k. And so you can, swing, and if this is 45k or higher, superior ride, and then his skill procs, call him out, get a force. So yeah, I do want to mention that sometimes, more often, you will just go for force 2, but if you really just feel like pressuring, like let's say your opponent has already gone to so much damage that your force 2 probably means nothing at all already. So you just probably just go for force 1 instead and just pressure and stack force markers everywhere. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, great Daiyusha. He's just best card. He's been here ever since the first set of VDP. And so yeah, you need to play him just for the plus 10k buff, and just so that you can somewhat superior. Yeah, you can also like Simbuster pressure, like pressure like this, and then ride, and then pressure again because you have a Dai Kaiser here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Next, 1 Zio. We play Zio because he can plus a free card. I should go through all his skills, but honestly, you really play him for his first skill. But nonetheless, let's just go through it. Vanguard Vanguard Circle. When placed, call the top card of your deck to a Vanguard Circle. If this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, and you basically just minus your opponent 5k for every marker they have on their field. And so yeah, that is just the skill you mainly want to be using. You don't really care for the first skill, for the second skill. You're just playing for the first skill because sometimes you just call him to rear and you can call something out for free, and that helps. That really does help. And you can also, you know, grab that into him, just the multi attack, just like how you would multi attack with Simbuster. And so yeah, that's Zio. So yes, you still appreciate the cards from clan selection. Next, Dyam. What does Dyam do? Vanguard or Rearguard circle when placed. If your opponent's hand size is 10 cards or more, your whole front row pluses 30k. And so this is just to counter every single deck that can actually reach 10 hand cards. And so yeah, they'll feel really sad and they'll cry. And yeah, Dyam makes them cry. Next, for the grade 2s, we're going into the grade 2s now. Metalborg Buster. Yes. Let's go through him. And also the artwork, it's so good. It looks so fantastic. So act on Vanguard circle or Rearguard circle when placed. If your Vanguard is a Metalborg, so +1, and then you basically retire one of your opponent's units, and this unit pluses 10k. So that's really cool. And so that's basically, you get to, if you grab that into a Simbuster, your Simbuster will call this guy out, and then this guy will so +1, kill something, plus 10k. So that is pretty cool, right? So here's a, usually when you don't have your Simbuster as your Vanguard, this guy is straight up a vanilla, and that really does suck, let's be honest. But you have cards like Brad Black that discard, right? And so you can just literally just discard this guy instead of any other thing. And so yeah, and also sometimes riding, when you ride him, your opponent will have some pesky rearguards if you know you're playing up against some rogue deck that you've never seen before. Okay, so +1, kill that rearguard. I plus 10k, swing for 20. Your opponent needs a heal guard for this. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. So we play 3 of him. We don't play 4 of him. I do want to mention we don't play 4 of him because 4 is definitely too much. I did try playing 2 of him, and it worked horribly well, because always one will go to damage, one will come to hand, and then my Simbuster cannot superior call anything else, and that just sucks. That honestly just sucks, right? That's why I play 3. But 3 still kind of feels like it's too much, but it's the right balance, right? It is the right balance. So next, we play 2 Kaiser. Yes, we only play 2, we don't play 4, because honestly I don't feel like Kaiser is that good of a rearguard, because usually we just want your grade 3s on field. But nonetheless, I appreciate him a lot. I really like the new art for Kaiser. It looks so good, like it looks beautiful. Okay, so let's actually go through his skills, right? Auto, when a grade 3 unit rides over him, discard 1 card from your hand, get a imaginary gift force and put it onto your Vanguard circle. And so yeah, you start becoming Uranus, you see. Yeah, everything just force, and that's why playing Force 1 is actually not that bad in this deck anymore, but Force 2 still pressures quite a lot. Let's continue this second skill. Continuous on Rearguard circle. If the amount of force markers you have in your Vanguard circle is 1, actually no, hold on. If you have a force marker on your Vanguard circle, this guy pluses 10k, right? And then if you have 3 or more force markers on your Vanguard circle, he pluses another 10k. So yeah, usually you just have him as a 20k. Like, unless you, I don't know, Dai Kaiser, Brad Black a lot until you actually stack Force 2s on your Vanguard circle. If you're playing Force 2, you stack Force 2s on your Vanguard circle, then yes, he'll turn into a 30k beat stick. Then yes, that'll be pretty good. But usually, even if you're playing Force 2, you'll probably stack Force markers on Rearguard circles as well, because Rearguards do somewhat swing small sometimes. So yes, that's why I play 2 of him. You mainly play him just for the right skill to discard 1 and get 1 force, because he gets you a free card already, so the discard 1 doesn't really feel that bad anymore. So yeah, that's why I play 2. Next, it's a card hopefully not forgotten, because this guy was still played during the Zio era. Yep, he was indeed still played when Zio was a thing. let's go through his skills. This is Quick Hero Active Mask, if I'm correct. I'm not something hero active mask, but it's just active mask, that's all we know. Auto on Rearguard Circle, once per turn. When your Vanguard attacks, if it's 30k or greater, counter blast 1, stand this guy. He's a restander. That's all you really care, because like dude, you can do this, right? You you swing here first, you swing, use skill, right, and then you use his skill, called the Buster, yes, and then you swing with him, swing with Vanguard, skill, restand, swing. So basically, you just generated 6 attacks. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That is something never seen before in DP, and I love that interaction from Silverdust that this deck has brought. So this is really good. It's really it's so cool. So and this all of it only costs 2 counter blast and 1 soul blast, because you know. So yeah. So don't give excuses, because even though this deck doesn't have counter charge, like I said, your Dai Kaisers don't proc very often. You only procs 2 per game, 1 per game, that's the maximum, right? And so just wasting 1-2 counter blast on this doesn't hurt. It really doesn't. Just for another multi attack, it makes your opponent hurt, alright? So yeah, I played 2 because yes. Next, this is a flex slot. You can really play anything you want. You can play Dai Dragon, you can play Dai Dumper, you can play Gale Sludge. Yeah, why do we play her? Because usually everything, if we're going for Force 2, I know I'm talking a lot in the perspective of Force 2, but this can also come in the form of Force 1, because everything's swinging big. Basically, everything else is swinging big, right? So let's say you have your Vanguard swing very big, your opponent must guard. Your Rearguard swing very big, your opponent must guard. And suddenly you just small swing. Your opponent just, okay, no guard. And so since it hits, you draw 1 card. I just realized I didn't even go through her skill. Let's do that now. Auto on Rearguard Circle. When this unit attack hits, if your opponent's if your Vanguard is grade 3, is 30k or greater, you draw 1 card. And so yes, basically she will hit because everything else is so big, your opponent must take her. You draw 1 extra card, and that's really good. That's really good. Like you thought Gale Sludge was good? Nah, bro. No. Play Miracle Cutie. Play Miracle Cutie. She's best troll card ever. Yes. So going to the great ones, we play Twin Order. If you're not playing Twin Order, you are not playing Dimension Police. Not really. I mean, like these days you can actually go ahead without Twin Order, but Twin Order is a good card. You just need to play him. What does he do? On Rearguard Circle, when this unit boosts, your Vanguard pluses 10k for every Force marker you have. And so this card basically just says, play Force 2. Why are you playing Force 1? You don't need to play Force 1. Yeah, you're already stacking a lot of Force markers, more or less Force 2s in this regard. And that playing Twin Order doesn't, you know, you just buff out your Vanguard like crazy. And so yeah. If you're playing Force 1 and then you boost with a Twin Order, man, your opponent will cry. Like I said, this with this, if you're going Force 1 and boosted by 2 Twin Orders, your opponent will straight up cry, because you're basically swinging for like 100 plus and your opponent cannot feel safe guarding with a Sentinel. They cannot guard their heal guards. They can only guard with 8 cards, which are grade 0s. And so yeah, that's why Twin Order, best card. And so next we go into our right targets for grade 1. Only three Daijet. Not Daijet, sorry. Yeah, Daijet. Dai Prop, yes. Basically, what he does, on place on Vanguard Circle, discard 1 card, no, not discard. Put 1 card from your hand to bottom deck, and then you draw 1 card. And if you put a grade 3 normal unit to a bottom deck, you draw another card. And so yeah, that is basically his main skill that you play him for. Act on Rearguard Circle once per turn, so last 1, and your Vanguard gains 5k for every Force marker on your Vanguard Circle. And so yeah, you don't really care for his second skill, you mainly care for his first skill, that is basically you +1 Also, I realized that I also said his skill wrong. You can only put back normal units to bot deck, not trigger units. You can't do trigger. You can't put back your heal guards, right? And so yeah, his first skill is probably non-existent because Soul Blasting 1, just the plus 5k, it's not that good. And you also have Weapon Orders already. But sometimes his second skill does come out. But his first skill basically allows you to plus 1 and to put back Grade 3 so that your Dai Kaiser hits more Grade 3s, and that is really, really good. That is really appreciated. And if you remember, let's go back to Simbuster. Simbuster superior calls a Buster, right? That means you will shuffle your deck, and that also means you will shuffle that bot deck Grade 3 that you just that Grade 3 that you just sent to bot deck. And so yes, that's why we play him. And the reason why we're not playing 4 of him is because we also play Dai Dumper. We also play 2 Dai Dumper. So what does Dai Dumper do? Auto, when rolled upon, you may look at the top 7 from the top of your deck, and then you search one Grade 3, not a Grade 3 normal unit, any Grade 3, add it to your hand. So yes, you can add heal guards, you can add your right targets, your right targets, and then his second skill is Rearguard Circle on place. If your Vanguard is a Grade 3, it pluses 5k, and so yeah, he puts back unnecessary Grade 3s to trigger for Dai Kaiser, whereas he searches you your actual good Grade 3s that you want to take, like, you know, Great Daiyusha, your Sinbusters, rather than Simbusters, because you play 4 Simbusters, so you don't really want to search for Simbuster. You search for Brad Black, you search for heal guards, and so yeah, that's why he's good. And also something I do want to mention, if you're going first, let's say you see you have a Brad Black in hand, okay, I cannot really utilize this when I'm going first, right? So what do? We write this, right? And then on your next turn, you write the Dai prop. And so what you will first do, you proc his skill, search for a Grade 3, right? You add this to hand, so that's already a plus 1. You activate Dai prop skill, you put this to bot deck, and then you draw 2 cards. Therefore, you plus 2 on this turn, and so yeah, and then you can now actually activate Brad Black skill since your opponent will now be a Grade 3. So yes, you are slowing down yourself by 1 turn. However, you plus 2 cards. That is really, really crazy. And yeah, that is an interaction that I did before, and yeah, it's available. It's available. You can do that, but how viable it is, I don't know. I just remember using that play. I'm not too sure if I won or not, but yeah, it feels really good though. It feels really good. Next, of course, it's Grand Zao or Grand Rope. It's a Grade 3 searcher. His plus 5k skill is literally the simplest plus 5k skill ever, which is if you have a Grade 3, he pluses 5k. Wow, that's awesome. And then of course the Grade 3 searching skill. If you don't know that, just it's on the screen, so you should read it, right? So yeah, also I do want to talk, his art looks so good. Simbuster's art look really good. Dai Kaiser's art, Obari Sensei, yes. And also another Obari art, yes, it's more Obari stuff. And so yeah, you, not to mention, you can also search your heal guards with him. And so yeah, that is something cool. Sometimes you just use him just to search your heal guards instead of searching your actual pieces, just because, you know, sometimes you need to survive rush. So yes, that's why I play 3 of him. Starter, we play Black Boy. We don't play the furry dude. We don't play Daiyusha. I mean, like, you can play Daiyusha. Daiyusha is stupid cool, of course, but Black Boy is, it's time to change things up a bit, right? Yes, to play 1 Black Boy. And for triggers, we play crits, crit sentinels, 6 crit, and 6 draw, and then 4 heals. 2 are normal heals, and 2 are heal guardians. Let's first talk about sentinels, right? Why do I play this split? Why do I play this really weird 3-1 split? Honestly, it's because this deck just, you see, like, you know, your this discards. This discards. And so you really need to draw into cards. Therefore, we play 6 draws. We've established that we need to play more draws, right? But then, you know, now you might be asking me, why play crit sentence? Why don't you just play 4 draw PGs? It's because your hand size in this deck is not big. It's really not big. Like, your biggest can go is probably 9, 8. That's really on. Imagine just having a 4 card hand and just having 1 PG in it. It's the dumbest thing you ever have. And to just at least have a crit sentinels that you can just guard 1 card with, it's good, right? But of course there are some big attacks that you have to guard with a sentinel, a PG rather, and so that's why we play 1 diamond ace. So yeah. And now, why this split? Why this split? Because, like I said, with this, or rather this is another point actually, it's because this deck doesn't have good shield. It really doesn't have good shield. And so just okay, let's say we're going first, right? And then let's not play this. We play like 4 of the heal guards, and we couldn't use them because we're going first. And so then all of your defense, all of your, you know, your big defense has converted into 15Ks that cannot guard you any 33s, 33s, 32s, doesn't guard at all. Even 28 doesn't guard. This doesn't guard 28. Whereas this guards a 28, right? This guards a 25, this guards a 22. Yes, sure, this guards a 22, but like 23 rather. That happening in V right now is very rare. I mean, like, it's not rare, but the thing is that you rather just have an extra 5k on this, because if you survive early game with this, you're still gonna die late game because of not having enough defense. And then if you play a lot of this, you can't survive early game at all. And so that's exactly why I chose to play this 2 split. You can play 3, right? Of course you can play 3. This makes a lot more sense, honestly. You can also play this split, but playing 1 heal guard feels really risky anyways. Though you can search, I do want to say, you can search these really easily with your Dai Dumper, with your Grand Zao. So yes, that's why we're playing 2. And so yeah, that's the trigger lineup. And so let's talk about a interaction that I've mentioned earlier. Use Red Black skill, plus 10k to your whole front row, right? 20, and then 23. 25. Whoa, sad for days. And then you use the skill, look at the top 7, and then you search for a grade 3, let's say a heal guard, right? So then you shuffle your deck, whatever. And then you discard 2 cards. Let's just say you discard these 2, doesn't matter about 2. And then you will write from your hand, or maybe you searched out a Simbuster, write it, right? And then you use your Simbuster skill to search your deck for 1 Urbuster. Where's the Urbuster? Call this here. And then you use your Urbuster effect, so last 1, and then you basically have to retire and then plus 10k here. And so then you swing with Active Mask, boosted by the Twin Order that basically passes your Vanguard power whatever force you have, right? And then your Vanguard swings, skill, stand, twin drive again, 1, 2, nothing, okay. And then you swing here for 20, swing here for 20 as well. And so yeah, that's basically like the whole entire 6 attack combo. And so yeah, so let's get another interaction out of the way. Let's say you start the turn like this, right? And then you call Kaiser here, you call Active Mask here, and then maybe some Grand Zao, right? Grand Zao skill activate, you check top 5, whoa, it's a great Daiyusha. Okay, let's add that to hand. We'll also, let's call out Twin Order, because of course we need Twin Order for our power games. First, swing 20, right? and then you swing with a boost with twin order. This will be 13, 23, 33, 41. This is one trigger to hit. Now of course you can, you know, swing a twin order here, then swing like this, but let's say we don't have anything else, right? So with twin drive, we need to hit one trigger. One, two, no trigger, but let's say we hit a trigger. Oh, draw, right? You plus a 10k to your Vanguard circle, and then you can now activate Great Daiyusha skill, Canvas 1, rewrite, you get Force 2, and then you use your Dai Kaiser skill, Superior Call, you get another Force. Yes, and then you plus another 10k to your whole front row. Then your active mask will now swing, and then your Vanguard swings for twin drive, by the way. Active mask procs, stand, and then twin drive, one great 3s. So he sees that, Canvas 1, deal 1 damage, and then heal, nice, set for this. Yes, and then you can swing and then swing one more time. And so that's basically the whole entire, you know, the Great Daiyusha play that you can do. Of course, you can also Great Daiyusha on a Simbuster with a pressure with your basically. You can also do like this, right? You can go swing, and then you if you let's just do something like this. And then if you got a Sentinel, I can sack a Great 3, kill your Sentinel, not kill your Sentinel, deal 1 damage. So that's like twin drive. Oh, draw 1 card. Next draw, wow, draw 1 card. Okay. And then since this hits over number somewhat, you can Great Daiyusha, right? And then your Great Daiyusha swing will swing for lesser pressure. However, this is still enough. You know, oh, Great 3, take 1 damage, draw again. Wow, the second lot of draws now. And then you can swing more time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you get more insight on, you know, the new DP cards with Dai Kaiser, with Simbuster, and then maybe some of the old interactions like Great Daiyusha and how it works together with everything. And so yeah, see you guys next time.